All right, students, welcome to the quantitative data interview question step. We're just going to go through really quickly so you know what to expect. So we are here at benchmark 2 ballot issues, quantitative data interview questions. So let's go ahead and take a look there. So here we are on this step. So once you're at this step, you're going to see what is quantitative data. Well, you were introduced to that already, but basically quantitative data, we're focusing in on the data that can be measured and written down with numbers. So we're looking for more structured questions to be able to get responses that can be quantitatively measured. So you're going to use quantitative questions to uncover facts about what your respondents are aware of about your issue, so an awareness level, discover the extent of your respondents' attitudes about your issue, measuring frequency of actions or trends around your issue, collecting facts, measuring satisfaction of something, or maybe the way something was handled regarding your issue, and then also determining how many people like an idea. So this is also an opportunity for you to throw out some ideas you may have around your issue and get some responses to those ideas. So phrasing, you're going to look at this in reference for some of your phrasing. Here's some question starters for quantitative questions. Here's a few examples that you can take a look at and reference. There are some specific types of quantitative questions. So there are structured fixed response questions. So these are questions where the options are already given. There are some limitations to these type of questions, but it also does provide good data as long as you set the questions up properly. So some examples of closed-ended, do you like attending Rise High School? That's a simple yes or no. Um, which subject do you enjoy the most at school? Again, fixed, but you would get good data. How many hours do you spend doing homework each day? It's important when you're setting up a fixed response that you have all of the ranges covered and you go in order, so 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So it's giving you your range. Then we have some partially structured questions. So with these questions, you give responses that are fixed. However, you may set it up so that your respondents can select more than one option. So you're going to get some different type of data there. Also, you can maybe add an option that states other where they can fill in. So that's a mixed question because it's partially structured. It has some data, but it gives an opportunity to gather some qualitative data based on that question as well. Then we also have scaled rating questions. So a Likert scale is one type of scale that's used to measure attitudes or opinions. So some examples are the type of questions where you have a range of choices: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. Typically, you want to keep it to 5 to 7 choices, or else it just may become a little too overwhelming. But it doesn't always have to be just agree or disagree. There's a lot of different variations. You can look at these examples here. It can measure frequency, often to never, quality, very good to very bad, likelihood, throw some probability in there, definitely to never, importance, very important to unimportant. Another type of scale is that you can have opposite words at either end. So the river is polluted, clean. So they would mark in their response. Cleaning up the river is easy, difficult. They'd mark in their response. Um, so let's go ahead and go back to look at our PowerPoint um, to figure out how to handle this assessment. Okay. So we looked at our overview. Making sure some guidance on when you're developing your questions. You want to just make sure you keep the questions short, to the point, grammatically simple, clear. Present the survey in an organized format, and make sure you test out the survey before you administer it. So we're going to look at some of the questions on here, the bad question game, really quickly. So example one, which subject do you enjoy most at school? Well, if you want to hit pause real quick and come up with your own reasons about what seems to be the problem, and how can it be improved. One problem that I see here is that football practice is listed as a subject, so you're going to get some pretty skewed data there. One way it can be improved, history and government, in my head, those would go under the same category. You would have history there. Um, Example two, how many hours a day do you spend doing homework? What seems to be the problem for me there is that the units are off. So with math, you've got to make sure you have your units, because somebody might um, not be able to convert minutes to hours, and so your data would be skewed. How can it be improved? Make sure that you always have all of your units matching. Example three, do you think that the new cafeteria lunch menu offers a better variety and assortment of healthy and fresh food versus the old one? Ooh, that's a pretty lengthy question. So what seems to be the problem, that it's pretty lengthy. Also, it um, is hard to understand exactly what is being asked. Um, so a way to improve it, you could rephrase how you're asking this question. So, how do you feel about the new cafeteria lunch menu compared to the old one? If you give some more choices versus yes, no, no opinion, the new menu offers a better variety of healthy foods. The old menu offers a better variety of healthy foods. The selections are similar, no opinion. So this makes what you're trying to ask much more clear. This was confusing and you might have gotten some poor data. All right, so pop quiz time. You're going to go through this pop quiz and enter your responses either in a text box, write the number and the answer. You can write them down on paper, submit an image, or you can record yourself with video or audio saying the answers to these questions. So um, you're going to evaluate questions that I asked all of you in a previous step on the Robert Moses connection step. So you're going to tell me if these questions are quantitative or qualitative questions. And if they are quantitative questions, you're going to tell me which type of question they are. Is it a structured question, a partially structured question, or a scaled question? You have 6 questions for your pop quiz, and you'll be ready to complete the step.